Good morning, everyone. We are coming to you live via YouTube streaming, via Facebook streaming, and also via Skype online. Each one of you is welcomed to this morning's live streaming. What is Buddha within? What is Buddha within? On 16th of July, that is next week, falls the Indian festival of Guru Purnima. Purnima means full moon. Moon is symbolic of inner flowering, and Guru means the master. It is the journey of togetherness between the master and the disciple. It is an important occasion. We as individuals consider yoga because it is a Hindi word. It comes from Sanskrit language. We consider it Hindu. This is human ignorance. Television was discovered by someone who was not Muslim, who was Christian, who was not Hindu, but everyone uses television and nobody says it is not mentioned in the holy book of Quran. Yoga means to join, just as in mathematics we keep on adding things to arrive at the ultimate one figure. If the equation is long, 2 plus 2 into 3 minus 4 plus 6 divided by 24 multiplied by 26 equal to what? This is called jodna, to combine together. Combine is not the correct word. To add is not either the correct word either, because there are certain things addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, all are there in this equation. As such, the equation looks complicated. 2 plus 2, you have to add the 2 plus 2, which is 4, multiplied by 6, 24, divide by 3, like that. In the same way, we have a body, we have a mind, we are plagued with emotions and so many things. These all emerge from your being, the Buddha within, but they are all in conflict with one another. How to put them together in oneness, that is the essence of the word yoga. When a Muslim bows down, you may not call it a particular yoga posture, or when he sits down on his haunches, certain positions, these are yoga positions, but you may not call it that. These are essential for the flexibility of the body, and deep within they unite the innerness to arrive at oneness that you are, of which you have become oblivious. You have forgotten that you are Buddha within. That's why you are looking for all these things. You have forgotten. The day you come to know that this is your essence, a transformation will happen. The Master is there to remind you of that. So it has nothing, yoga has nothing to do with Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, or anything else. It is the process of bringing inner harmony in an individual. No one who has attained, be he Jesus, be it Buddha, be it Lao Tse, be it Muhammad, be it any other Sufi master, he has attained to inner oneness through bringing all the discordant elements together in harmony with one another. This is the essence of yoga. There is a famous saying of Emerson. He says, man is God in ruins. I agree with this and disagree with this simultaneously. The insight of Emerson has certain truth in it. The truth is, man is not, you are not what you are to be, what you should be. This is the insight, and because of that I agree with it. The insight is there, but it is somewhat upside down. Man is not, it is erroneous to say that man is God in ruins. First part is that you are not what you ought to be, what you are bound to be. A seed is a seed as long as its process of flowering does not begin. It is the flower in making. The seed is flower in making or fruit in making. First flower comes, then this fruit comes in. You can say seed is flower in the making. But this seed is not actually what it's to be. So to say that seed is flower in ruins, it is wrong. But technicality, you can say that seed is not what it's bound to be, it ought to be. Man is not God in ruins. Instead, he is God in the making. Each seed in the process of becoming a flower first, and then a fruit, and after the fruit, into myriad seeds that can be reused, and the process continues. The leaves, new leaves come on the tree. During autumn they turn gold, fall. Just turning gold or falling is not the only thing. They remain around the tree, decompose, decay, and continue in the process of the fertilization of the plant, become the manure. Man is not God in ruins. Instead, he is God in the making. Just as a seed is flower in the making, seed is on the way to become a flower. It has the potentiality. But it is not always true that each seed will become a flower. Between these two ultimate stages, the seed and the flower, there are myriad possibilities. The possibility is the seed has fallen on the unfertilized surface. It is blown by the wind or consumed by the birds. But if it is planted in a well fertilized soil, continue to provide the nourishment and the water, it will take its own time to burst forth. The seed will burst open and its journey will begin. And then, if the care is taken properly, it is nourished and nurtured by the gardener, it will blossom into flower. So Buddha within is the seed of infinite possibilities. It has to be cared. That is why there is significance of the one who has traveled along this path. The gardener knows how to take care of the plants, how to take care of the seeds, how to plant them, how to nourish and nurture on a day-to-day basis. But the difference between a seed and a human being is the seed is in an unconscious state. It does not resist as you can resist when something is told to you. Something is told to you and it does not please you, you react. Ego comes to the surface, and that we cannot see. Why there is a reaction? Reaction through the bodily movements or a kind of a discomfort shown on the face or some words. Something like that. So that is where the problem comes in, and it takes long for the human being to attain to inner flowering. Man is the seed of Buddhahood. Man is budding Buddha. The bud is there. It can blossom any moment. Just a little effort and a little care and help. The help is not going to cause it. Because the seed is already there, the infinite possibility is there. It simply gives it an impetus. Your effort is only going to reveal it to you. It will make you aware that you are Buddha within. It is hidden. It is a discovery. But the truth is already there. This truth is eternal. There is a story comes in the life of Michelangelo, the sculptor. During his days of struggle, he used to spend time by a friend who has a shop. At the back of the shop there was a big piece of marble stone. So the shopkeeper sometimes used to think this is a nuisance, but he never touched it and left it. Michelangelo, whenever will visit the shop, he will spend time looking at that piece of marble, stand around, take a circle around it, look at it from different angles. So one day the shopkeeper decided to extend his shop, and that this marble piece of stone was a great obstruction in that. And he had observed Michael to watch that plant, watch that stone quite often. So he told Michael that I am expanding the business. I need to remove this stone. So he said, I will give you that stone. So Michael said, I do not have the money. He said, I am not asking you the money. And instead I will get it transported to your place. So the stone was, marble piece of stone was transported to Michelangelo's place. And Michael started working on the piece of stone with his chisel and hammer. And he was carving something in that piece of stone. It took some time, a reasonable amount of time. Then one day, when the sculpture was revealed out of the stone, or it was complete, he had it covered. He went to the shopkeeper and told him that I want you to come to my place. I want to show you something. The shopkeeper came. He saw the something covered with a veil. Michelangelo removed that veil. The shopkeeper's eyes glittered with tears. It was a sculpture when Jesus' body was brought down from the cross and it lay on the lap of Mary. The shopkeeper asked Michael, how did you do that? So Michael said, the statue was there hidden in it. There was so much unwanted piece of marble around it that you could not see it. When the stone was behind your shop and I used to go there and spend long hours sometimes to look at the sculpture, I was seeing the hidden in the unmanifest. I was seeing all that was unmanifest in that stone, and I used to marble it. All I did, I chiseled out all that was unwanted, so that the sculpture within can manifest itself. The role of the master is to remove all that is unwanted in you, so that the Buddha within may shine in its inner splendor and glory. This is truth. It is a discovery. It is already there. It is eternal. That is the purpose of the Master. And this week, when the Guru Purnima falls, remembrance of the role of the Master in the process of the growth, the role of the gardener in the process of maintaining the beauty and splendor of this garden is significant. This particular, there are certain sutras which is known as Heart Sutra. They are of immense value. Listen to these sutras in the voice of a Malaysian, Imi Oi, or anyone else. Just on YouTube, log in Heart Sutra. Listen to these sutras because they are most important sutras according to Buddhist literature, and also in the process of inner flowering. These are known as Heart Sutras. It is These sutras are the very heart of Buddhist message. Listen to these from the very beginning. From this point, Buddhism becomes relevant. Let it be there in your heart that you are a Buddha within. You are the seed with infinite possibilities. Only thing, the sculpture is hidden in your anger, in your frustration, in your various things that cover your inner flowering. Sometimes your gestures, sometimes you're saying many things. That should have not been, but out of the functioning of the ego, these words overflow. All these things are covering that inner blossoming. It requires a great courage on the part of the seeker. The master is not in a hurry. He will wait for the occasion when you are ready. It's like an iron smith. He puts the iron in the fire and waits for it to get real hot. Then he takes out the piece of the iron, puts it on the anvil and shapes it into whatever shape he wants. Master heats you up through his love, through his many things, and waits for the occasion when you are ready to be hammered. So the words of the master, the gestures of the master is like hammering, chiseling out all that is superficial in you. But out of your ignorance, out of your ego functioning, you resist and miss the opportunity. When the iron is hot, you're supposed to mold it into the shape, but you got engaged in something. And the iron got cold, may not be that cold, but it is not looking like the golden red as it would be when it comes out of the fire. But it is only in that state it can be molded into the shape that you want. But the moment its temperature goes down, it cannot be done. You have to reheat it again. So when you miss an opportunity because of your mind, because of your own understanding and ego sense, you miss the opportunity for it to be heated again so that it can be molded. I would like you to begin from the very beginning. From this point, only does the search for inner Buddha begins. It becomes relevant. Let it be there in your heart that you are a Buddha, the seed of infinite possibilities. It is not hypothetical. You cannot trust these words totally. That is natural, and I understand this. Let it be there, but as seed. Around that fact, around that reality, many things will start happening. And only around that fact you will be able to understand his sutras. They are immensely powerful, very small, condensed, seed-like. And with this soil, with this vision in mind that you are Buddha, that you are a budding Buddha, you are the possibilities of blossoming. You are potentially capable of becoming one. Nothing is lacking in you. All is already there. Things have just to be put in the right order. That a little more awareness is needed, so that when the iron is heated and it is red hot, it needs to be hammered, to be shaped into a particular way. A little more consciousness is needed. Treasure is there. The sculpture is hidden in the stone. All it needs the superficial to be chiseled out. The moment Master tries to chisel out the unwanted stone, your ego sense comes and loses the opportunity. The treasure is there. You have to bring a small lamp inside your house, a little hammer and a chisel. Once the darkness disappears, once the work of the chisel and hammer begins, that which is within you will not remain hidden. You will not remain a beggar. You will be a Buddha. You will be a sovereign. You will be the emperor. This whole kingdom. That's why Jesus said, the kingdom of God is yours. It is just for the asking. You have to claim for it. But you cannot claim it if you believe that you are a beggar. You cannot claim it. You cannot dream about it. If you think that you are a beggar, you cannot become awakened or something or the other. The idea that you are a beggar, you are ignorant, you are a sinner, has been preached from many down through the ages. It has become a deep now. It exists in you like a deep hypnosis. And this hypnosis is like unwanted stone around a sculpture hidden in the piece of stone. It has to be broken. To break it is a process. So it is erroneous to say that you are working on enlightenment. Enlightenment is to accept that basic fact that you are that which you are. That is why the scripture says, I am that I am. When Moses asked God, inquired, he said, I am that I am. This has to become a deep understanding in you that you are it. This is the right beginning and the only beginning. Otherwise you go astray. This is the right beginning. Start with this vision. And don't be worried that this may create some kind of ego in you that I am Buddha. The whole process of these sutras, known as Heart Sutras, is to make you clear that the ego is the only thing that does not exist, but you pretend that it exists. Everything is real. Only this much for this morning. Until tomorrow, take care and do have a pleasant day.